So pretty much, Big U ass is cooked. You believe?
Yeah, hey, bro, I ain't even gonna lie, man. Like I said, man, I bear witness to the truth, man. I didn't sit there and read this paperwork, man, so many times, bro. Before we get to Big U being cooked or not, I know a lot of you are lost and confused on where we're at in the case. So I gotta get you guys up to date. And who better than Eddie Boy himself? This man read every single document on Big U's case. If he spent this much time in school, he would have became the president, I'm telling you. But I'm glad he's here to break down the Big U case for us, because by the end of this video, you for sure is gonna know if Big U was cooked or not. And shout out to Rich and the Making of a Man TV for setting the stage. They've been producing a lot of good content, so you for sure gotta subscribe. I'm gonna leave the links, the pinned comment in this video.
Hey, hold on, Eddie boy. Let me ask you a question. This gonna validate everything you said out your mouth. This right here with this question. Was there a time, and I ain't trying to switch lanes or nothing, I'm just trying to get a quick synopsis from you, where Big U was that nigga?
Not to us, meaning that he was our peer. He was our homeboy, right? So he wasn't that nigga to us, but when he came home, I believe that the majority of us was locked up, bro. And we was still up in there. So he didn't have nobody to contest him, you know what I'm saying, when he came home in 2004. And then you had the brothers in my generation that was his homeboy and his peers. We basically had walked away, if you understand what I'm saying. We had grew up inside the penitentiary. So we wasn't going back to the hood, you know, delving off in this and delving off in that. But he went back, you know, he took advantage of whatever he took advantage of. And then when you go over there and you see the caliber individuals that he was dealing with, they wasn't even standing on business like that, bro. If you understand what I'm saying. So he had it to the point where he can manipulate these dudes and scare these dudes to fall in line. So he was that Negro. He was that Negro.
Was he Deebo or no?
Not to, like I said, not to us. Not to us. Not to his peers. If you understand what I'm saying. It's like to his peers, to his homies, no. Outside entities, like dudes, like say for instance, dudes selling drugs or something like that, yeah. But not to us. He
Well,
wasn't
shit, for niggas like us, our age, mine and Detox, when we was coming to the county, 89, 90, all we was hearing about was Big U.
Okay, but I was in there. I was in there with him. 80. I mean, and 90, not 80, but then 90. But he wasn't. He wasn't no. He wasn't like that, bro. I know the man. You know.
And that's what I'm asking you. So
You know.
are the
So
guys are the guys like Petey Wack, what's your other homie name? Pretty Boy, Key Rock. Are those bigger names than Big U in real life?
yes,
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
Keita Rock for
Okay.
sure.
Okay.
Peter Rock
Okay.
and Petey Wack is for damn show.
Okay.
And you got to understand, man. It's like Keita Rock, Petey Wack, Big Feet, Big Rick. It's a bunch of big names over there, bro. That's behind the scenes that dudes don't know nothing about, bro. You
Okay.
know, see.
Okay. I'm gonna ask you a question. It's off the grid, man, but I gotta get it because you was there. Did
Mhm.
Big U take over World on Wheels kind of somewhat by itself, fading everybody that was coming over there,
Nah, bro.
bumping on?
No, 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 bro. No, that was a collective type thing, bro. That wasn't just him. It was all of us.
No, that's
Do
out,
you know
but
how
you know
deep
that's
we
out
used to?
there like that. Like he forefronted
I
that.
no, I never heard that one. I didn't heard some
I ain't
other
never
shit, but I
heard
ain't
that
never heard
nigga.
that one.
Okay, so you
I ain't
never
never.
heard that Big U was telling whoever that would come up there, whoever they hardest homie was,
Drac,
he wanted to get down with him?
No, no, no,
Drac
no.
was the hardest nigga from
No,
schoolyard.
no. Blue was. Blue was the only one that had heart to come up in there and get knocked out every week.
Oh, my nigga back to schoolyard was a real one.
But Drag wasn't coming up in there, bro. I know Drag. I know Drag very, very
Yeah,
well.
Drac, rest in peace.
Drag,
Rest in
yeah,
peace
Drag,
to the
rest in
homie
peace.
Drac.
Eddie
Yeah.
boy, you must We
Eddie
like,
boy. Now
let's get to your
let's get
story.
off that.
Let's get to Eddie Boy. Like, cause Eddie Boy,
Hey, Eddie
he
boy,
talking this shit.
look. So let's get to the boy, man. What's going on with him, man?
Who?
Loose cannon, man.
Oh well. Hey, Luce got. They moved Luce late last night, brother.
Damn. So
Wait a minute, wait a minute. They moved him about. See, he was on the seventh floor. He was on the Big U was on one side and he was on the other side. If you ever been into the feds, from my understanding, you guys when you go to the yard or it's a door that you guys can talk to like on this when you're on the same floor. But
mm-hmm.
late last night, they moved Luce from the seventh to the sixth
Damn.
out of nowhere. And then I looked at the pacer this morning. It's a whole bunch of stuff is still in there. So
Damn.
you got to understand, bro. When you look at when you looking at the case, look who's not filing a whole bunch of motions, bro. Look who's not filing a whole bunch of motion.
Yeah,
Luce
Loose
is
ain't
not
filed one motion
Luce
yet,
is
huh?
not filing a whole bunch of motion. Um, Hop not filing a whole bunch of motion. Tiffany Hines not filing a whole bunch of motions. What's the girl name?
Maji.
Afani, whatever her name
Yeah.
is, she's
Trap
not
Maji.
filing a whole bunch of motions. And Vey is really not filing a whole bunch of motion. So, from my understanding, somebody already took a deal already. It's a deal
Mm.
in place for some of these dudes already.
Who would you, if you had to put a calculated guess on it, who would you estimate that took that deal?
Man, all of them. What the fuck? You mean?
They didn't all took a deal?
I believe all of them got a deal in place.
Mm.
Bro, you don't get out on no RICO on no signature bond, bro.
Right.
That's a fact.
So you feel like everybody that's out
I feel like about
is on the
everybody's
side of the
out is
prosecution.
cooperating, right? Exactly. Even though they're gonna get some
Hey,
time,
Eddie Boy,
yeah.
give us a synopsis or a run through. Who is Bear Claw? Because this is a person that is mentioned all over the internet and everywhere.
Bear Claw is a buster. He Bear Claw is Big U Flunky. He the one that came up with the idea of developing an option, and he let Big U be the front run of it, and got run roughshod over it. Bear Claw is like a dude. He's not. He just a dude that was over there, and he wasn't really with the business like that, bro.
Mm.
You know. So, and we all had homeboys like that. So he
So
he
Bear
he
Claw
is
just wrapped up in some shit because he was the brain behind the muscle.
right.
Well, how much
That's
of a
how that,
brain he
that
was he?
No, I'm
Because
saying because they was
they
eating because he got him $1 million. You know, a nigga
they
like us getting a couple dollars in the streets, a nigga say, "Hey, I got a plan. We can go get the county to give us $1 million
but
dollars." You know,
see,
that
but
nigga's you know.
Bear Claw did go to the pen once upon a time, but he went to the pen on some.
somebody got an echo going on.
That's probably me. Hold on, let me put my headphones in.
Hold up.
Yeah, Bear Claw went to the pen on some Tinder dick shit. Behind a female.
So what part of the hood is Bear Claw from?
He from the Avenue.
So I guess let's start there. Since you just woke something up, how many different sections, if you can, I know you don't want to do too much.
Damn, we ain't
How many
even
different
finished
sections
talking
is in the
about
six
fucking
O's?
Loose Cannon.
Hey, bro, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. It wasn't none when I left. When I left, we were just 60s. But now you have the front, you have the avenues, you have 10th Ave, you have the gutters, you have the hills, and it's just like four or five of them.
And it's Rich, and now though the Rich, I see my homie. He was asking about Luce Cannon, so let's bring it back to that. Is Luce Cannon from any of those cliques?
Nah, man, Loose Cannon from San Bernardino.
But look, y'all. Damn, where Loose Cannon from? He might be from. He's supposed to be from Fontana or whatever they say he's from. But what's gonna happen? So, what do you think is going on with his case?
Which one?
Why do you think that he's on the move so much?
He's panicking, bro. He's panicking. He's trying to find a way out. And if he's smart, he will find his way out. If they really need him to testify against Big U, in order, I think they're gonna use that no jumper case as leverage. And if he can like just get like a little bit of time or no time, he's gonna turn on Big U, bro, for sure. And when he
Okay.
do turn on, Big U, he's gonna get out there. You know how he be lying and dealing with all them theatrics. He gonna get up there and act like that's a movie set.
Mm-hmm. Do you believe that he knows enough information on Big U that it could be beneficial to him?
No, he don't need to know a bunch of information on Big U. All he got to do is validate that robbery.
The one with the at the weed spot.
That's all he has to do.
Mm.
Once he do that, that's like, see, in a RICO case, you need two guilty verdicts on whatever the count. Like, say for instance, you got the fraud, they have the tax evasion, you have the robbery, and you have the extortion, and you have the murder. And when you're dealing with the RICO, all you need is two convictions of each one, not I mean guilty verdicts in each one for the RICO to stand.
That's
Okay.
real. Hey, Eddie boy, did you go to Horseman?
No, I went to school in
What that stuff you
Carson,
had in your hand?
and
What the
You
stuff
say
that
you
you
say
had in
you
your
went to
hand?
what?
I
You
went to
had some
Broad
stuff in your
Acres.
hand.
I went to Broad Acres Elementary, Curtis Junior High, and I graduated from Banning High School.
Okay.
So, how much time is Luce Cannon actually facing?
40
40 years
in the feds.
in the feds. So, with if he does cooperate hypothetically, how much time do you think he would get knocked off of that?
I think if he cooperate, they're gonna let him walk on the feds charge, but he gonna have probably got to do some time on that, whatever is going on in the state dealing with that no jumper demonstration.
Mm-hmm.
Eddie boy, you been
So
to the feds before?
nah, bro, I've been up in there in MDC like for a few months, and that was it. And that's all.
Listen, I'm not against you, bro. I'm just asking because we getting clarity on this thing. This is rich. This is rich platform. This is the making of the man TV. Everybody do what you're supposed to do. Subscribe, link up. You got Eddie Boy in here, a real one from X60 member, positive guy, uh, man of the making of the man TV.
Appreciate you. Anybody? Um. So, what's going on with Big U? What's the update on Big U?
Um, he just like I said, it's a whole bunch of stuff that's been filed and been sealed, but they're not going to trial until February 5th.
So the May trial date is off the table.
Off the table.
Is that based off of Big U and his
No,
defense, or is that because of the prosecution?
no, that's off the defendants. I mean, the defense. Bear Claw Vey is the one that filed for the continuance, and
Mm-hmm.
Big U lawyers they joined in on it because they're saying that even though that Big U wanted a speedy trial, they're saying that they're not ready.
How much time
There's
is Bear Claw and Vey facing?
Bear Claw is facing
I see.
70, and
Wow,
Vey is facing like almost like 200.
200 years.
Hey,
Hmm.
Eddie boy, I know you done did this 100 times, man. But since we got a platform up here, man, explain what your connection is to this with your little brother, little Eddie boy.
My connection is that they backdoor little bro. Big little bro went to jail for a hot one that he didn't commit dealing after Mumbles got killed and Joker from A-Trade Gangster family. And what they did was they backdoor little bro. Luce Cannon father is the one that basically put a gun in my brother's hands and came to court and testified and said that my brother had a 30-30 caliber and all this and all that. But my little brother was nowhere around that stuff. And then
Oh, so Nutty is the one who snitched on. So Nutty snitched on your brother.
lied told.
Mm.
he lied told on little bro, and the reason he lied told on little bro is because they kidnapped him and made Nutty change the narrative, because when he first gave his first statement, he told on the initial guys that really did that.
Have you had any discussions with Nutty since then, or had anything been brought up to Luce Cannon?
Yeah, man, we didn't. Yeah, man. I see. At first, they was Loose Cannon was running around there lying, said his father didn't tell, so I had to go get that paper. I've been had it, so I just showed him the paperwork,
Mm-hmm.
and then when he came out on the internet telling his daddy a rat and all that, because I had showed him that paperwork. So I
Mm-hmm.
was like, and he was supposed to get me an affidavit from his father, but we sent the private investigator up there like 2 days in a row, and he didn't want to come outside. And this how I know that he's on a PC yard up in Folsom.
Okay.
And Luce Cannon was kept telling the world that his father was on the main line, but he's not, because Lil Fetus up there too, but Lil Fetus on the main line, not Nutty.
Mm.
Nutty's on the PC yard.
Oh, he's on the PC yard, huh?
Okay, but
Yeah,
let me ask you this. Homie. So um, we know where you stand. You a Muslim. You know what I'm saying. You're not no longer part of the gang. Whatnot. But here's the thing: are you the type? Are you like are you an exposer? Let's start there, and then
I'm just me, bro.
okay. So you're not
There's
part of no clique. You're not no exposer clique. None of that.
No, no, no. I'm just me, bro. I don't have nothing against Whack, and I don't have nothing against 600. And I'm just me, bro. And that's just what that is. I let them brothers do their thing, and I just do my own thing.
But you do understand that when a person, Eddie boy, because
Yeah,
I done
yeah,
heard your
yeah,
story.
yeah.
I done heard your story, and you seem like a real one. You done put your huff on. You done went to the joint. You done did all your stuff that you had to do. We ain't got to mention it, right? But so, is it cool that a person can just go up to the courthouse that's been a part? Like, I'm scared to death of a court date. You dig what I'm saying? And I don't even do nothing. I'm fuck around a truck driver type shit. You know what I'm saying? But if you ask me to go get another nigga's paperwork from the court, that's crazy to me. I just can't do it.
Well, I'm not. See, I see you. I don't know. I don't know what your disposition is or where you stand with the politics in the streets. I have evolved from that. I'm not scared to go nowhere. I'll
Right.
go anywhere to go get anything. I don't care.
Okay.
Long as
No, no, I
I'm not
respect
doing.
that. Let's respect
Long as
that.
I'm not doing nothing wrong. I'm not breaking no laws, man. I don't give a shit. I don't
Like,
care, because
no, no,
that's
no,
the.
Ed. No, no, listen. Even though I crossed over, right, and all I do is
Mm-hmm.
drive the truck, right, I still got that little itch in my back that say, like, damn, if I walk in there and they request something, they might be like, well, what's your name? Let me see your ID. You know what I'm
No, they don't
saying?
do none of that. They don't do that.
Okay. Oh, okay.
They don't do none of that. As long as you have the information, you go right in the clerk office and get right on that computer and get the information. But I don't have to do that now because I have Pacer. I can just do it from my phone, or I can do it from my computer at home now.
And
So
you know what? I respect a lot more of that coming from you. But let me ask you this, and I ain't trying to get you to get into it with your peoples or nothing. Is it cool to dress up like the police and play like that, how does that work?
that depends on who running the skits. It's like, one thing about this internet, man. A lot of this stuff, man, that you see on here, it'd be a lot of plays, a lot of and stuff like that. But dudes be running plays, dudes be running skits, and it's like why not put on a uniform, and everybody already calling you a crip cop, and now why not say, okay, well, I'm a cop, but you're really not a cop. So I understand both sides. Me, I don't play like that, but if I understand what he's doing, so because everybody always, when you have like the majority of the masses of the people, saying that you this and you that and you this and you that and you this, then people start to believe in that, even if they don't even know you. You know what I'm saying? So it's like a rumor mill, and it's just like, man, it's like just like they think he was that He was with the police when Big U said he was with the police when they raided his house. That was a damn lie. So shit like that. So and people believe that.
No,
People.
I respect that. I respect that, Eddie boy. You keeping it clean right now, and that's all I was trying to do is get an understanding because I don't understand. So respect for that.
Right. So that's just what that is, man. Because if they're your enemy, why would you want to please your enemy? Because I'm not going to please my enemy, regardless I'm Muslim or not, bro. And I be very firm on my disposition, bro. If you have a problem with me or little bro, you're not gonna be able to stand next to me, man, or my family. And I don't care if you disrespected me or little bro in any type of fashion. If I ever run across you, I'm gonna make you stand on it. Period. Straight up. And I'm not even in the point where I don't even want no problems. Because I'm from that school, man. I'm not gonna do a whole lot of talking when I see you.
No, I respect that because a lot of people, even when they speak left, they speak right on you too. You know what I mean? So if they don't like you, they still got to respect you, and I respect that. But Eddie boy, when you was coming up, man, I heard a lot of stories, man. You was really like in the traffic, man. You was really outside.
Yeah, man, I was outside, bro. I don't glorify it, but I was there, bro. I was in the trenches, man, and like and and that's just what it was, bro. It was a group of us, man, and I'm talking about it was a lot of us, bro, out there in the trenches like that, and some of it was just we didn't want our names ringing it like that, but sometimes our names do ring, unexpectedly and all that type of stuff, man. But it was a lot of us outside, bro, like that. And then even like with Big U, man, I when dudes, I ain't gonna never lie on him, and I don't care what nobody say. I mean, because I can't stand him. I don't like him for shit. But I would never lie on the brother because I know him. You know what I'm saying? Dudes be asking me search shit about, and I'll be like, nah, nigga, he ain't nah, that's not him. He's not, he's with that shit. So if dude's saying he ain't really like that, they a damn lie. You know what I'm saying? If dude's saying that he wasn't around a certain situation and stuff like that, if it's not true, I tell him he's a damn lie. Things of that nature because I know the history.
And that's why
So
you a real one, Eddie boy, because see, people talk about people that they may get into it with, and they downgrade them but they say, oh, that was my friend for 30 years. How the fuck is that your friend for 30 years? Was he bad all 30? Then what that say about you?
now he wasn't bad, man. He was with the business. He was with the fuck. Now, don't get that wrong. I don't know. Like I said, like he came home, bro. When he came home, like I said, man, a lot of us, man, outgrew
Go
that
straight to the end, all the way up.
demonstration.
When do you
So
think? When do you think Big U made the switch? Like, what went wrong?
I think he didn't have nobody uh, around here with no check and balance, meaning that he didn't have nobody that can contest him. Like, man, what the hell you doing? Because when we was younger, we all did that to one another. If we see one of us do something wrong or do some stupid shit, like, man, what the fuck you doing? You know what I'm saying? You know how that go? So it's like it was always a check and balance with us. He didn't have no check and balance, man, because it's like if you getting 2 point some million a year on a contract, you really don't have to do anything else, basically. You know what I'm
When
saying?
when did
So
when do you think he started to get greedy? When he felt like he had the keys to the kingdom?
no, I think he got greedy on his own personal like relationship was like he take care of his family, man. I think he had a lot of responsibilities, with his mother, father, sisters, stuff like cause they depend on him, bro.
I mean, but we
So
all we all got that. I'm talking about all of the alleged extortion. We're talking about the putting pressure on people like the Adrian Broners and the shit James
I think
Harden.
I think when he got comfortable, man, because I don't think he felt that he was gonna get in trouble. And then it's like just like with the PPP loans, because everybody was doing that and dudes was getting away with it. So I think he felt like he had one foot in and one foot out, where he was getting money from the city, and he was getting money from the outside sources.
What
So
you think he
that's
did with all the paper?
oh man.
You think he still got some paper?
I don't think so, man, because they froze his accounts a long time ago. When I first, because I hadn't talked to him for like 30 something years, man,
Mm-hmm.
until that stuff surfaced on the internet between me and him, and me and him had made an agreement where he was calling me, he was asking me to clear his name, and I was like, man, I'm not clearing shit. I was like,
Oh,
that's your
so
beef.
he called you?
Yeah, they called me. They called me. They got a whole. First he called the brother. He called two of the Muslims, and the
Mm-hmm.
Muslims got on the phone and got a hold of me. And then
Right.
he was on the phone, so he started talking to me, man, like it was no problem, like we was just back in 1990 or something, you know. And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm listening to him, and I'm like, but he did tell me that he was hot before I even got on the phone. He told me that he was hot. You know,
So
he was in.
he told you his
He
line was
told
hot.
he yeah he told me he was hot, right, straight up. He did that. He gave me that courtesy, so I wouldn't say nothing stupid over the phone.
Mm-hmm.
So he told me that, and then I asked him why. So he was basically saying some financial type stuff, man. But I was like, nah, it just
But you
can't
know
be
what's
that.
crazy, Ed? If
Hmm.
he would, if he offered that to you, right? That you that he was hot, that his phone was hot. Why do you think he didn't offer that to a lot of the other brothers?
I
Do
don't
you
know, man.
think do you
I
think he
think he
wanted to entrap them?
I don't know, man. I think he needed me more than he needed them. You
But
know what
I'm
I'm
saying,
saying?
even though he needed you, right? He needed you,
Hmm.
but he didn't have to reveal that to you. You feel what I'm saying? He still could have befriended you and tried to hit you with the gregarious smile or whatever camaraderie and try to get the information from you. Still. But why did he have to let you know that he was
I
hot?
don't know. I don't know why he did that, bro. I guess I don't know, but you know, alhamdulillah for that. So I don't know why he did that, but he did that. You know,
Mm-hmm.
he done that. So I don't know why he didn't tell the rest of them dudes
Because
that
I'm
I was
wondering
hot.
why he wouldn't tell Bear Claw or Vey that he was hot. And
Not
if
yeah, but they knew. They knew. Bear
I
Claw
mean,
and
they
Vay
knew.
him.
I'm pretty sure they knew he was hot, but they own a lot of wiretaps, right?
Oh yeah, they own a gang of wiretaps. They
So,
wire they tapped Bear Claw's shop.
yeah, I know. I wonder how did they
So
do that?
man, I think somebody invited them to do that. To be honest to me, I think this is what I believe, bro. 'Cause when you
That shit
dealing with
took
them,
forever.
when you dealing with
What you
them
say?
feds, man.
No, I was saying
When
that
you
shit took forever for them to be able to infiltrate that warehouse. Like
Nah,
that
bro, it
wasn't.
don't. Not if somebody say okay, you can
I
do
read
it.
about it, but go ahead.
Now, see, I believe this is what I believe. I may be wrong. I believe that Bear Claw was approached, and they showed him how much trouble that he was in, and they told him basically, if you need to do X, Y, and Z, or you going to jail right now,
See,
and don't go
what you
back and
doing
say
is
nothing.
making a revelation right now. So you believe now that Bear Claw was approached prior to this operation taking place?
I believe that. I believe him and Bay was approached.
Wow. So they already knew it was coming.
Right. So I believe they was approached because look, bro, why do you think they got let out right away?
Mm-hmm.
Here
So
go a question. Here go a question. Go ahead, Rich. Go ahead.
you believe like that was part of the plan?
I believe that was part of the plan, man, because when you cooperate with them people, they're gonna look out for you, man.
Go ahead.
They're gonna look out for you, bro.
Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go.
I got one for you. I got one for you, Eddie boy. And this ain't no attack. This is just a question because you know better than anybody.
Hmm.
Why Big U didn't go to that funeral?
Which one? Dempsey?
Nipsey. Yeah.
Because they didn't want him there. The Muslims was instructed not to let Big U come up in there. Period.
Mm-hmm.
Now he would have went, but he was instructed not to go.
You think he had enough power to show up if he wanted to?
Why?
Nah, not that day. Not that day. Nah, it was just too much,
But
man. It was
when you say power, what do you mean by power? How is that power going to be exhibited? By a multitude of people coming with him?
I'm just saying that from my own experience of banging in the hood and being a part of the hustler community, he had a big influence. So let's say if he was to touch a yard besides ADX in the
Bruh.
federal system, go ahead,
No,
Rick.
I'm asking you this because you said about he have enough power to come to an event at a particular event. I'm asking you, when you say power, what do you mean at that point?
What I'm saying is this, Rich, and you and I both know that I live in a different state today, right? And I'm not trying to be in a man's case or whatever, but there's some rolling 60s out here. And if he was on the streets, or maybe if he sent a letter or whatever the fuck he could do, he got some say.
Yeah, but he don't he bro when bro he only have say for certain individuals, man. I don't know how y'all don't. Hey, bro, if you guys on the outside looking in, bro, in over there in the '60s, he didn't have a lot of say like that, bro. He didn't, man. He only had say with certain individuals. He didn't have
So
that.
would
He
that
didn't have
just
that much
so
say,
would
bro.
that just be like the Arlington clique? Because I know there's cliques,
No,
the AGs.
it'll be his little minions and not even all the AGs, bro, because all the AGs don't fall in line with him. Like Big D and all them brothers don't fall in line with that brother like that, bro. So you just can't say that. He was just like he only had say for the people he had influence over. But that group, that section as a whole, nah.
But that's why they trying to put the whole thing. And I watched a video, Eddie boy. That's why they trying to put the thing with him and Sue Surf in Jersey, and he was in
See,
Minnesota, and
but
he was out here in Seattle and all that.
they're
He had an
not
influence.
they haven't. See, that's because, like, I once again, even in New Jersey, even in Minnesota, he only has say with certain individuals, not everybody, bro. Because I know brothers in Minnesota that I talk to him all the time, man, and he didn't have no say like that with them like that. Maybe he did back in the '90s, like in the '80s. I think we because I even was out there with him in like '88 or something like that. Maybe back
What
then because he
wasn't he
was.
out there with Benzo?
And
Yeah,
let loose.
yeah, his cousin. Yeah, he was out there with him. Yeah, so that was way in the '80s though. That was like '87, '88.
But still, it puts it puts some type of influence on it, right? And then when he did the
No, because
documentary,
in '87 and '88, bro, it wasn't no Rolling 60s in Minnesota. They were just out there getting money. The only reason it's Rolling 60s in Minnesota is because of Benzo stayed. He moved out there and stayed. Benzo is the reason why it's Rolling 60s in Minnesota, not Big U.
okay. Hey, listen, I'm not here to challenge what you're saying because we just trying to get the facts, and you
No,
got
you
them.
get the facts. I'm just gonna give you the history. You want the history? I'll give it to you. It wasn't Big U. It was Benzo. It was Jeff Benzo. It wasn't nobody else, bro. And I don't know where and what else? I don't know where the ones that came in, like there's other entities, like you had dudes that some of them dudes like Big J Bone and all them moved to Ohio. You got dudes out there that's saying they
Uh,
60s.
I'm saying
You
they got 60s here in Seattle, and they claim that they up under a certain individual.
Okay, certain individuals, where they might be, I don't know who they up under. It may be Big U, maybe not be Big U. I don't know, but it's not always him. No. So you have to understand, bro. If that was a if Big U case was a rolling 60 indictment, I think every entity from Los Angeles and everywhere else that's claiming rolling 60 would have been all gaffled up. They would have had one of the biggest RICOs and nationwide. But it's not. This is a Big U RICO. This is not a rolling 60 RICO. And there's not, and be honest with you, how many rolling 60s on the case with Big U? You got not even you have one, so-called one, and that's Bear Claw. Brick Baby not on the case with Big U. Luce Cannon ain't really from 60s. So everybody else, it's not from 60s. It's just Bear Claw.
So do you think that is tied in from Jersey to LA because Sue
I
Surfing them
think no,
and
I think
Sue Surfing them is 6 O's, right? Correct.
right, okay.
he's in their paperwork. I read that paperwork too. But however, I don't think I think the reason why he didn't get caught up in Sue Surfing demonstration is because he had a bigger investigation out here in Los Angeles.
Okay, so look, this is the thing with the Sue Surf shit, right? So
And
we
they
was
didn't tell and they didn't tell on him, man. I heard that shit too.
okay. So
Because
you heard what we was
yeah,
doing
yeah,
last night.
yeah, I heard that shit because it's like this, bro. It's like when you take a deal,
Okay.
irregardless of what the people's talking about, they'll ask you issues from 60, they'll ask you from here, they'll ask you from there, and you're gonna have to say yeah. But that don't mean they gave no Sue Surf gave a statement from him or anything like that. I don't even think they even using Sue Surf in them demonstration in Big U's case. I heard that too, but right now we haven't seen that because we have all the paperwork, Rich. You have it too. So we
Yeah.
haven't seen that. We haven't seen that yet. So
No, we haven't seen that.
unless we see until we see that, we can't say Sue Surf or anybody else, bro, had anything to do with Big U case, bro, because they didn't.
Okay, so listen, Eddie boy, and this is why that was intimated like that. Is because okay, I guess in the Sue Surf case, they were asked, do they have are they rolling sixties? They say yes. Uh do they have higher ups? And they say yes. They all said that they had higher ups and they report back to California. And I guess it was mentioned that I guess who they reported to was Big U. So that
Is that is
hold on. Hear me out.
okay?
Hear me out. Let me
Okay,
land, and then you can rock out.
all
Okay.
right.
So what's being intimated is that by them coming to an agreement and saying that they committed the crime as a gang, that by them making the initial statement that they they report back to California and Big U was their hierarchy, that's why it was being mentioned that they snitched on Big U.
Okay, now, but is Big U name in that plea agreement where they said Big U? Or did this say it's a hierarchy?
Big Chuck,
So
do we know if Big U's name was
what's
in
the
or
wording?
Imam, anybody in here? Know if we, because I don't know if Byron Blake mentioned that their name was in, that Big U's name was there. I
If
have to
his
go
name
back
is
up.
if
Yeah, he
his
said
name,
that his name was there.
They said his name was there, right?
well,
Yeah.
I have to see that. I have to see that, man. I do. I have to see that. Because it's us three. It's like say me, you, and Chuck. We take a deal, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we just taking a deal. We ain't make no statements. We ain't did nothing. We just finna get our time. And then I don't know if anybody ever took a plea agreement or anything like that. Um, that's sometimes that stuff happen like that. Now, if the wording is not if they tripping on the wording, maybe they lawyers should have told them the word that something totally
Yeah,
differently.
because if you think about it,
So
if you yeah, if you think about it, basically they kind of are saying that if they did say the aforementioned things like they report back to California, they are rolling sixties, they are part of that organization, and Big U was a hierarchy.
yeah, but
So if they
I need to see if his name is actually in there. But now, if they just saying they from Rolling Sixties and they point back to California, the California is the origin of the '60s.
yeah, for
So
sure, I agree with you.
that ain't shit. But
Yeah,
if
I
they
totally agree.
but if his name is up in there, that's a different situation. But they're not a part of
Hold on,
Big
let
U
me.
case.
Huh?
But they're not a part of Big U case though. Period.
Okay. Okay.
As of right now, they not. But it can be. You know how them feds are, man. They can put a rat about their hat.
Anybody got anything they want to ask, Eddie boy?
You know, I got something to say. So, what about the yellow breezy situation? With I don't like to put people's name out there, but your other homie hang out with him a lot,
Yeah,
and he was
that
supposed
nigga's a
to.
rat.
Who? Yellow Beezy?
No, that nigga floss.
Floss. Oh.
word, but you put it right. You just call good game.
Yeah, he's a rat.
Floss.
He telling. Yeah, he's telling.
Mm. Who he telling on?
He telling on Big U. Who the fuck you
Damn.
mean?
What is he telling? No, what part what is he telling?
He's telling about the operation in general because he was right there with him too for a long time too. So, you have to understand, man. Floss got approached, and when Floss got approached, he got the hell up out of Dodge.
All right.
Hmm.
Okay, so I want to
They are
ask you
they.
this. I got this. I want to ask you. This is something I want to ask you because we've been hearing this. So we know that Big U filed a motion to have be able to cross-examine the witnesses in totality, with exposing their criminal records or ongoing criminal proceedings that they might be going through as an incentive to cooperate against him. Now,
Mhm.
I heard people say that is snitching. Do you feel that is snitching, or should he be able to impugn their character like they impugning his?
See, once again, it becomes selective. What rules are Big U following? Did Big U walk away from the game, or is he still a rolling 60? See, that's the tricky part because you got some dudes. That's why I made the videos. You got some dudes saying that he was a community advocate and all this and all that, and then you got some dudes saying he's from Rolling 60. So it's like a catch-22 situation because if he's from Rolling 60s, he don't supposed to say nothing
Okay,
because that's that that
let's
that
circle
that.
back
that
to this, Eddie
hmm
boy. Let's circle back to David Austin, right? Now,
hmm
if in fact Big U was David Austin and he is
Ain't no was, he is.
okay, so he is David Austin, right? So then
Hmm.
he already broke that code, right?
Okay.
If he's already broke that code, why, and he did that multitude of years ago, why 30 or 25 years later would he adhere to that same code again?
I don't think he'll adhere to nothing right now. I don't think he's gonna, because I know him. He's not gonna. He don't give a shit what nobody's talking about right now.
Mm-hmm.
The man is fighting for his life. He can care less what somebody think about him. He can care less if somebody call him a rat or snitch or anything like that. The man is gonna use every means and anything necessary to try to get free, just like you, me, and anybody else would do. The man
Right.
is 59 years old, bro. I don't think that he's gonna if he do inshallah if he gets up out of that, I don't think he's going back over there. I don't think he's gonna communicate with them dudes or none of that stuff. The way they just betrayed him, I don't
Mm-hmm.
think I think he's fully done with that.
Yeah,
That's
because
just
look
my
at
yeah.
this.
Hmm.
What does the world look like if Big U comes out of there unscathed? He can't go back to the Crenshaw area. Where would he go?
I don't think he's going back to the Crenshaw area, man. The man's son is in a position where he ain't gonna have to do too much of nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think and be honest with you, bro, he has family. So I don't think he'll be a damn fool to go back over there and deal with them dudes, brother, after what just happened to him, man.
Right.
I don't think he's gonna sit there and not and bump his head 3 times because he already bumped his head once when he when me and him went to jail. Now he bumping his head again. Right now it's the second time, but I don't think he'll go back into that atmosphere and bump his head again the third time. I don't think he'll do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, see, that's why reason I said it in that manner is because, and I circle back to David Austin, is just to show people that if this individual has already broken this imaginary code, what makes you think he's adhering to that right now, and if he even cares about that? Now,
I don't even think that has anything to do with him breaking the code back then. It has what's happening, bro. They betrayed that dude, bro.
who betrayed him?
His people, the dudes he was looking out for, the dudes he brought around there, or even some of his comrades around there. That's why he's in jail, bro. He's not in jail behind no. I'm gonna tell you who's in jail behind. He's in jail behind a bunch of Rolling 60s, and he's in jail behind Monster, and he's in jail behind a few non-affiliates, bro.
When you
You
say
know,
he's in jail by a bunch of rolling 60,
yeah,
do you feel like there are other rolling 60s that should be that are unnamed in this indictment that could possibly be uncovered?
right, exactly. Yes, I do believe that.
Mm,
I believe this is what I believe, bro. If you are a potential co-conspirator in this case,
right.
the Fed's gonna come push up on you, bro.
So you
Now,
believe
I don't
it's
care.
not over.
No, it's not over with, man. You know, you had like Tiny Draw's phone was tapped. I believe they
Hmm.
pushed up on. I believe they pushed up on him for sure.
You think
K
they
Dog
talked to
phone.
Tiny Draws?
Oh yeah, for sure they did. Cause Tiny Draws ain't never been to jail. Tiny Draws ain't never been in jail. He ain't did shit. He's not really like that. You know, he's a family man and all that type of shit. So yeah, hell yeah, they pushed up on him. You know, because they got him in the paperwork saying that he was a dude that he was toting guns for Big U, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So that's an overact.
Oh,
You
so they
know,
do. They have him in an overt act.
Yeah, they have him in an overact. You know, saying that
Do
he was
you know if he
toting.
has been arrested?
No, he ain't never been arrested for
He
none
never
of that
been
stuff.
arrested.
I'm not. He never been arrested. He's not even a part of the case. I'm just
He's
saying
not even
that
part of the case.
but his phone was tapped for like 4 years.
Wow.
So his phone was tapped. Little K Dog phone was tapped. Right. I believe. I know for sure they talked. They talked to that dude. You know, and it's just his whole situation where he has cases like from up north that disappeared. Every time he went to the feds, he only did 5 years, like two
Hmm.
different times. So it's just like there's certain things, man, that it's not adding up, you know, and you got to understand, bro. It's just like the CIs that they have up in there. I believe that I don't think none of the CI is coming to court on Big U because they did their job. They did their job to the point where they pointed the information directly to the people where it's gonna get Big U caught up. You know, so the thing is this: what everybody is looking at, they think it's just Monster, and they think it's just Marley Marl, and they just, but brother, we don't even. They haven't even got the whole scope
Those
of
are
the
just two
evidence.
witnesses, huh?
Right, right. That's just two witnesses, man. We don't even know who this dude Christian Arch is, bro. This youngster this got arrested.
Right.
We don't even know who he is, but he's vital to the case because they're just not gonna just sit there and come gaffle you up and take you to jail and give you a $5,000 bond, really a signature bond, and put you on an anchor monitor and tell you, give me your passport. We're gonna holler at you when this case starts, and then you can do what you want to do. So
Mm.
you got to understand, brother, it's gonna be more individuals like that, and it's more individuals that's already cooperating. And you can just how you can imagine on how many dudes is coming forward since this brother been locked up, bro. Can you
Wow.
imagine that? Do I get DMs from other dudes like um truck drivers and tow truck drivers like, oh man, he was over there, he was taxing us, he was doing. I was like, what the fuck,
So how
you
do
know?
so individuals in the section they really don't want to see him come back.
Oh no, they glad he gone, bro.
They glad he gone.
It's just a chosen few um that's worried about him, but the majority, they bro, you don't see if you guys don't know the history of that neighborhood, bro. You wouldn't understand why the brothers feel like that over there, man.
Hmm.
I just don't go into that. I don't go into that. The reason I don't go into that, man, because it'll open up a can of worms because it can just blow a whole bunch of shit up and it don't supposed to
Right.
be, and I'm not gonna be the cause of that, you know. But other than that, man, it's like brothers don't. If you don't know, if you're on the outside looking in, you really don't know.
Mhm. Let me ask you this, Ed, and this is something I wanted to work. Speaking about the GRYD program and developing option. Now there was a lot of kids that was also being assisted by that program. What
Hmm.
happened to that program, or is anybody taking over for developing options, or
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
what?
yeah. Somebody already got the grid program. some brothers inside that section, and these brothers, they doing the right thing with it. I know these brothers. They over there doing the right thing about it. But the only thing, the difference between their program and Big U program, they have Big U had the football demonstration, and they don't have the football demonstration. All they have is the grid program where they, whatever goes on inside the neighborhood, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Now, Big U's son, from
Wow.
my
So
understand,
all those
so
kids lost
no,
their
no, no,
football.
no, 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 because Big U's son is the one that have that now.
Oh, so
He's
Big
the
U
one
son
taking.
took over that.
He's taking over that. It's called the boats and all that type of stuff.
Well,
So
at
his
least he
son is
carrying
taking.
on that legacy, man. That's
Right,
great.
right, yeah, because he played football, so
Hmm.
he's taking that over. So, and it's better for him to take it over because he actually is a football player. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? And he can actually bring people in to, gear them kids towards something bigger and better. Instead of that gang shit. And I think that Big U problem was when he was dealing with them kids, he was bringing them gang members around the kids.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
Have
if
you
if
ever
you
you yourself thought about getting into any type of gang intervention or
Nah, I'm already a
nonprofit work?
part. I'm already doing that, bro. I don't be speaking on it. I
Mm,
does that already. But what I try to do is I try to gear the kids. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I try to tell the dudes to go be everybody that don't have no felony. I try to get them to be a sheriff, a LAPD, a FBI agent, a fireman, a lawyer, a doctor, or whatever. I push that agenda to them because the narrative has to change. It's like dealing with the blacks. You need more blacks in law enforcement because you have all these other entities and these other races inside that law enforcement, and you don't have that many blacks up in there. And I think that everybody that's dealing with that gang intervention, and they can get them kids that's not basically have no record, they need to push that. They can even they can just say, okay, man, you can be a part of the section, but this is your job. This is your assignment. This is what you need to do. Because this is how you build a community. You build a community on different entities and different people in different, jobs, situations, senators, lawyers, doctors, law enforcement, and all that type of stuff, because that becomes a pillar of your community. So that's what they should do. Now when you're dealing with the gang aspect, it's nothing wrong with the gang aspect. It's something wrong with the rules and regulation and the culture of the gangs, man, because they haven't evolved.
have you
They
seen
still on
what
some
Spody
stupid
Face
shit.
is doing?
I see what Spody Face is doing, but however, Sporty Face is just going around the black, whatever the black. I don't know exactly what he's doing in totality, but I
Uh-huh.
see only on the surface that he goes around like the black on this, black on that. Now, if he really wanted to um make a difference over there in his section because it's very, very huge,
Right.
he has to get the ones that don't have no felonies, bro. He has to tackle that. He has to form a crew of individuals that have been there and done that and tackle that particular type of mind state. Okay, you want to hang out over here? Get your ass in school. You can't. It has to. The rules have to change. You can't be doing no ditching. You can't do this. You can't do that. You have to have these type of grades. You can't. The rules have to change, bro. And for any dude to be a part of something, the rules have to change, man. Instead of just being out there being a damn fool and getting high off.
I do commend the brother for trying to do something positive, though.
Oh yeah,
Um,
that's without question. But I'm just saying, if you want to take it to a different level, you have to push, but it comes with resources, because
right.
it's like this: you have to have the resources in place in order for to give something to the kids to have something to look forward to. If you don't have the
Right.
resources, it's gonna fall on deaf ears. They're gonna be like, "What the hell you talking about?" They don't give a shit.
Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact. I was just wondering, was Sporty Face, is he a part of the GRYD program or
I don't know. I don't
how
know.
did he don't know?
Mm-mm. I don't think so. But I doubt it. But I don't know. But if he do get it, if he can get it, no, I believe that the person that have the GRYD program in his over there in his area, I think is like a Asian person and somebody else, bro. Um, I don't. I think that in order for him to tap in, he has to have like a different type of nonprofit. He probably need to establish, and he need to get with the right individuals, man, to try to push whatever he's trying to push. And he can't, and it can't be no like no like no. It got to be. He has to be when you deal. You got to be a taskmaster, man, when you're dealing with that stuff, bro.
Right.
And I'm gonna tell you like this, man, and like I always tell brother, if brothers won't change, it's gonna be a lot of people getting hurt, man, when you're trying to change, man.
Yeah, change. People ain't never
Yeah,
really too comfortable
yeah,
with
yeah,
change.
yeah, yeah, yeah. 'Cause if those, if the ignorant, if you let this like that 1% ignorance, um, try to run roughshod on you, you're gonna have a problem. So you have to understand, bro. The gang members are really not the majority of the community. They're like a 0 point something one um factor in the community, but they loud.
Yeah.
That's how they loud with it. And then by I mean I'm saying loud, like the crimes, the killings, the TV report on certain situations, um, all that type of stuff. So people fear that 0.1 percentage, you know, but they really not the majority of the community, bro. Period, at all. And then if you really look into it now, it's like if you see the gentrification inside every neighborhood now, it, I give it 5 more years, bro. That stuff is not gonna be like that too much of nothing anymore, bro.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
I believe before the Olympics come, even before next year, before the Super Bowl come, every person that they feel that's a threat, every person that they feel that's not doing anything that's productive in their community, they're gonna get them up off the streets, bro.
You know what? I don't encourage that because that's a slippery slope. You see what I'm saying? And when you come into a slippery slope like that, that's a non-democratic society because anytime people can uh, make a judgment about how you are and you don't have a particular crime right there, that's called prejudice. That's prejudging people. And
No,
that's
I'm talking
yeah,
about
yeah.
the.
Hold on,
I'm
brother.
talking.
Hold on. Hold on.
Mm-hmm.
That's what that is. Because if you make an assessment on people based off of something they've done previously, that is prejudging somebody. So
Okay.
if we let things like that happen in a community, w- everybody could potentially get taken away.
Nah, not
That's just the
necessarily.
truth.
It's not because okay, you was you
Think about
around in
what you
19.
just said, bro.
I said I know what I just said because it happened to us in 1984. What
What
happened
I'm
to
saying.
us in 1984 when the Olympics came? They came through and they were just doing sweeps in all hoods. It was so many of us in that county jail, it was unbelievable, bro. And we were
Yeah,
just up in there. We were just up in there like on some little type of stuff. But they made sure we was up in there till the Olympics was over with. Even we were just up in there for like 2 months, 3 months, or something like that. So what they gonna do is, bro, they have like 8 different task forces from the FBI, the sheriff's office, all these secret the LAPD. They have all these secret task forces, and then they have all these confidential informants in place reporting on what people are doing inside each section. I'm talking about every section have this, not just not one
bro.
particular section.
That's not right. That's
Okay, but this is
bogus.
what. Okay, but this is what they're doing. I'm just telling you this is what they're doing. This is what they're doing. And I know it's bogus because a lot of the confidential informants, what they do is they lie tell. You know what I'm saying? They give false information. But this is what they're doing, bro. Now, if you like, say for instance, if you out there and you're not committing any crimes or anything like that, they're not gonna bother you. But if you say for instance, like if you let's say Crenshaw and Slauson, right? And if you go on Crenshaw and Slauson and you see a lot of them, you know, youngsters, they just hanging out there smoking, drinking, you know, whatever do they doing and stuff like that. That could become, they could say they nuisance or whatever it may be or something like that. And 9 times out of 10, majority of them on parole or probation.
Okay, now let me give you another scenario, right?
Hmm.
With that same set of circumstances, right? Say we got the Olympics coming and we don't want no Mexicans on the street. So we go through and we find out we can't take all the Mexicans, but we find
No.
all the hold on.
Hmm. Hmm.
We we can't take all the Mexicans off the streets, but we find the Mexicans that's the most disruptive in the community based off their records and what we know about them. And we go and round up all those Mexicans before the Olympics and hold them for 2 to 3 months and let the Mexicans out after that. How does that sound?
It sound like the same shit they did in '84. Just corrupt, bro. You got to understand, bro. America is built like that.
But I'm saying, should you stand by for that?
What else? Who else? Who gonna do something about it? Who's gonna do something?
See what I'm saying? We can't capitulate to those type of things.
I'm just saying who's gonna do something because if
We-
if the 9 times out of 10, what's the average dude gonna say? That ain't me.
no,
I ain't got nothing to do with that shit.
do you hear? We can't. Hey, we
I'm
can't
just saying this is
capitulate
what
to those type of things right there.
this is what they're gonna say, bro. This is the norm. Pay attention to what the norm is nowadays. When dudes, even if you use the snitch allegations, what do they say now? That ain't got nothing to do with me. He didn't tell on me. I don't have nothing to do. It's that cliche. It's that same.
Have you ever
Um.
heard that analogy? If I turn a blind eye to it today, tomorrow it could be me.
Yeah, yeah. You know, I've been heard that. I'm the type of dude, man. I join what is right for big, what is wrong, but I see what's going on. I pay attention what's going on, you know, in society, and I can see what they're doing, you know, and I don't think that a lot of our people see what's going on, and the only thing, if they do see it, they don't want to say nothing about it, bro. They're not going to stand up against certain things in certain situations. But I do believe this, though.
That's a problem right there.
Right. But I do. This is what I do believe. This is what I do believe, bro. I believe that the United States of America, or whoever it is at the food chain, at the top of the food chain, they can eradicate the gangs. You know why? You know why I'm telling you why they can eradicate the gangs? If they came up with a bunch of programs that can get all them dudes jobs, it wouldn't be no more gang banging out there like that, man. Because the drive is the economics.
I agree with you. I agree with you. But the only thing I disagree with you is to stand by when people can go by on a particular because it could be done by an algorithm and they can lock you out of housing and they can lock you out of jobs just like they're attempting to lock people away during the Olympics. We can't stand for that type of shit.
Okay, well, I didn't say I stand for it. I say it's gonna happen.
No,
I'm just saying.
even if it's
I'm saying.
going, I don't.
I'm saying that it's gonna repeat itself because this is what bro. It's like, pay attention to this and remember when I tell you this, man. When you start seeing this, do you know how many Ricos is finna hit Los Angeles County? You think that's the only Ricos? Them the only Ricos? You had draws. You had the draws down. You had the 18th streets. You had the
Overs.
well, yeah, you had the Hoovers. You had the boys down there in San Pedro. You had
A-Trade
who else?
gangsters in Spokane.
Not. Oh yeah, but no, I'm talking about right now. It's so much stuff going on right now that they gonna start Ricoing a whole bunch of crews, bro.
I think they're using the RICO as a means to take down black organizations throughout the country. because it's such a liberal thing that they can prosecute people on, and they know they can get a bunch of people, 8 or 9 people, 3 or 4 gonna squeal already. You
Hey,
know what I'm
hey
saying?
Rich,
Dots.
hey Rich, at some point, can you do us a favor? Can you look up that the definition of RICO so we can get a firm understanding of what that is?
I
Nah,
just
bro, they doing that because there's no more organized crime like that really too much or nothing anymore. You know that, right? So they, in order for them to keep that RICO and everything else on the books, they going at the low level fruit, bro. And that's the gang members. They going after the gang members now, bro, with that right there. If you say for instance, like, for example, if I'm moving weight and you over here doing robberies and the other brother over here, he just merely rocking on the block, going crazy, violence and all that type of stuff, but we all kick it every day, they gonna tie us all in together, bro. If you
Fact.
understand what I'm saying. So that's what they're doing. They focus on crews now. They're not focused on the whole gang as a whole. They're focused on crews.
How
So
long you
that's
been
so
home?
that's
How long you been home, Eddie boy?
19.
okay. RICO stands for Racketeer Influenced and Corrupt Organizations Act, a federal law used to go after organized crime, but it's broader than most people think. A RICO charge is when prosecutors say you weren't just committing crimes, you were part of an organized system of a group that repeatedly committed crimes together. Um, Under Racketeering Influence and Corrupt Organizations Act, the government has to prove two main things. There's an enterprise. This could be a gang, a business, a group of people working together, formal or informal. A pattern of racketeering activity measuring at least 2 criminal acts within 10 years, like drug trafficking, murder, robbery, fraud, money laundering, extortion. Here's where it gets serious. You can be charged for crimes you didn't personally commit as long as you were part of the operation. Leaders
Right?
and organizers can get hit even if they never touched a crime. Penalties are heavy, up to 20 years or more per count. Massive fines, forfeiture. They can take money, property, businesses, real world use. RICO was originally aimed at the mafia, but now it's used against street gangs, drug organizations, corrupt businesses, even some high profile celebrity cases. RICO is basically the government saying, we're not just charging you for one crime, we're charging you for the whole system you were part of.
Okay, now did you hear what you just said? Now check this out. You know, I be having an argument with some of these dudes, man. I be like, man, I get so mad, man, because our people that they don't read. And they be like, oh man, Luce Cannon, he just got a robbery. No, he don't, bro. He has a RICO. Did you hear what you just read? Even though he wasn't there, even though he wasn't there, he's a part of all the crime that Big U is being charged with. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Everybody,
no doubt.
all his 7 co-defendants is charged, even with the overacts of the murder, because they saying they was a part of the enterprise.
Hey, Rich, can I ask him can I ask Eddie Boy a question real quick? All right, but hey, since we on the topic, where did Damian Porter? Yo, what's up, Eddie Boy? So
Hey, what's up,
I
brother?
was doing something earlier. I was talking about the Molly Mall case and or the Molly Mall situation that Big U was just now bringing up, right? So in that paperwork, is that information coming from Big U or his lawyer?
It's coming from his lawyer, yeah. Send him that thing, Rich,
What's that?
C- c-
the
no, I
PDF.
seen
Did
it.
I
I
send it
seen
to
it.
you? Oh,
That's why I'm
okay.
conflicted, right? So I
I
heard
did.
what
I
y'all
sent it
said.
to him.
Okay.
No, I seen it. I seen it. So like if it's coming from him or his lawyer, I agree with the narrative that he's snitching, but I think in that paperwork it said this information comes from a supervised release report. Like it said according to a supervised release report, and then they got into listing out the violations, right? So then like I guess are you familiar with a supervised release report or like
Yeah, yeah. It's a PSI, yeah.
Yeah, but like, so from my understanding, I could be wrong, but that comes from his probation officer, right?
Right, it
Not
should come from
Big
the
U's
P.
lawyer.
But okay, now yeah, exactly, and that's my thing is so this is why I say this stuff get tricky because you know how these dudes always saying that you supposed to don't say nothing, you supposed to stay 10 toes down, you don't even supposed to tell on the dude
Right,
that's even telling on you and all that type of stuff. You know where them fake ass politics come in at.
right.
That's my thing. Okay, now if he's supposed to, he supposed to follow that code, or do he supposed to do what he have to do to get free?
Well, but he's not. Big U's not disclosing this information. Molly Mall's probation officer submitted this information to the court, and Big U just referencing that, like, look, he has all these violations according to his supervised release report. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna use that to try to discredit his
Okay, but
credibility.
this
But
this is
that's
this
different than
is
saying like that's. I just think this is what I'm trying to get clear on. That's different than saying, look, Big U is disclosing this information that nobody knew about, which is an obvious. I think everybody would consider that telling, whatever. But if you
right
just
because
go ahead,
did nobody know about it? Listen, when you see now the federal government didn't put that inside the paperwork, the original paperwork. Big U lawyer is the one that exposed that situation.
wait, what you mean?
Even though it's public record, the PSI. He didn't know. We didn't know nothing about what the secret what was going on in Molly Marr house and or anything like that.
But the court would know that though if it's coming from if that's the report his probation officer made. I would
Yeah, the
assume.
court the court know, but the
Public
public
record
don't know.
game, my nigga. If it's public record, it's all free game. It's not rag. It's not telling.
So yeah, that's what I'm trying to get clear on. Is like because we got to get clear about that because that really matters.
I
You
got it.
get what
I
I'm
got
saying,
it.
Eddie boy, and I'm
Yeah,
just
yeah,
looking for
yeah, yeah. I'm
clarity
gonna go.
on
I'm
that.
gonna go.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go look at it and see if it's up in
Yeah.
there. If it,
So
yeah,
there's a
because
part where it says the violation of the supervised release report. I wish I knew what page it was on, right? And then it
right.
got to listing out them things. So I took it in the context of this is coming from that report, meaning it comes from his probation officer, or you know what I'm saying, or that could be out of context. I'm not sure, but yeah, if you could look at that part and
If,
just like,
if
Yeah,
Big
right. I'll go look at it.
if Big U lawyer went and got that information, he doing the job. It's public.
But yeah, man. I don't see. Man, my thing is this, bro. Like I
uh,
always say, man. I, I don't think the man give a shit about who's saying who telling or none of that. I think the man is basically trying to fight for his life. So
right,
why would he even give a shit about what somebody else think? And he trying to fight for his life. I wouldn't give a shit.
100%. But
You
for
know.
us though, like and you're right on his personal level. But if we're having these conversations, because the narrative right now is floating around is that he snitched, right? And I'm not even defending it for the record because I'm not clear on this. This is just my thought process. Like, well, if he
Well, I
got
have
that
to.
shit from
I'm
his
gonna go back.
probation officer,
I'm gonna
why
see
is
where. I'm gonna
everybody
see
saying
where
this
it come
nigga snitched?
from.
Huh?
I'll go see where it came from, man. If I can pull it up, I'm gonna see.
Yeah.
Look, I was just looking at the paperwork. Now there is a part where he's talking about that the witnesses are asking for leniency on crimes that they could be persecuted for right now. So I guess that he's alleging some ongoing stuff.
No, see, the thing is right now, bro, they can he can't say because they haven't got sentenced yet. I don't know if Marty Moore did his time or not. I don't know what the hell going on with Marty Moore, man. I know Dale haven't got his time yet.
No,
So
Dale haven't got
Hey,
no time, and Dale haven't even been charged with nothing yet.
yeah, he have. He's been
start
charged,
reading
but
into
he
that
he
too,
been
Rich, Eddie boy. Like, is that a strategy? Why they delaying that shit so long, or is that just normal? Cause
what? Oh, you talking about Dale?
like, yeah, is it? I mean, is the strategy like, look,
Yeah,
it,
it's a
maybe
it's a
cross
strategy.
examination, they get asked, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
Like, are
they
you
can't right because in order for him to get leniency, he has to get sentenced. You know what I'm saying? So they can't even bring it up.
Watch, I got something.
No, not in
So
order
he's
for you
not going to get sentenced until he testifies. So he got a
to
Right,
right to
exactly.
get
That
sentenced.
right.
participate
So,
in this somebody else's trial, and he ain't still ain't with the court yet. That's what's gonna get him his leniency. Participate in being a witness or inform.
right,
That,
but
What? What is he?
until
What are you
until
talking
he
about?
until he get his time, Big U lawyer can't even raise that issue.
Yeah, no, what are you talking about? Till he get his time. You put that work in for them.
If he,
That
they would
same
try to delay that. My bad.
Bro,
Go
you
ahead.
can't bring by law, you can't bring it up, bro. That's just by law. They're not gonna let him bring it up because he hasn't got no maybe he has a case, but he hasn't got no time yet. So they don't.
That's witness one and
Oh, that's what that motion.
witness
Look,
two.
that's
So hold on. He's been convicted, but he hasn't been sentenced yet.
I don't even think he has been convicted yet. He just have a case. He hasn't been convicted yet, bro.
wait a minute.
that why y'all keep saying he ain't been convicted? It's all these a lot of snitches work on the fact that they charges is still pending. What are y'all talking about?
It's pending, but he hasn't been convicted, bro.
You still could offer substantial government assistance while you sitting there out in the street fighting the case in
Right,
jail. You don't have to be sentenced. You don't have to be convicted. You don't have
I understand it. I'm just talking about from a legal
No, and
standpoint.
nobody
from a
arguing the
legal stand.
alternative.
No, from a legal standpoint, he could be working while he's actively fighting the case against the United States government. And then if they decide to give him credit, it'll say on his sentencing minutes that
right.
he has offered substantial or whatever type of information to the government to lead to the arrest or conviction of someone else.
That's
Okay, but that's when he gets sentenced.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean he's not working while he's waiting to get
Nah,
while his
bro,
trial
he's
is going on.
working. We don't disagree with that, bro. We just saying that when he get on the stand, that Big U lawyer is not gonna be able to bring that up because he hasn't been sentenced yet.
oh,
uh
hold on. He had to file a motion to see if he can bring that up. And that motion, I don't
He,
know if that motion has been ruled on because uh uh
that's what we was talking
that
the other night, Rich. That
yeah,
motion is too credible. That's
But by
right.
definition, Eddie Boy is right though. If you got to file a motion to bring something up, you can't by default bring it up right now.
Yeah,
can't
you
That's
can't
not
you
just
can't
true. You
use
can
it.
bring it up. It just can't be used in court. It could be brought up just to make a reference on the
Oh yeah, it
on the
can be brought
notes.
up in
No, I went to
yeah,
law school. I'm sorry.
because look, this is
Because a
what
lot of times, I mind you talk and you sound great when you say the things, but the things
Bro,
you
shut
say
the fuck up,
sometimes
bro.
you
Mute
got
up,
to
nigga.
hear
Mute up.
yourself.
We don't care.
Not being real. I'm not
Bro,
being
mute
argumentative.
up.
I'm being honest with you.
No, we're
Okay.
this is what we're saying, bro. This is the only thing we're saying. We're saying that Big U is filing a motion to bring it up, but by law, when he's in the court, they asking can they bring it
no
up. But if it doesn't get,
file-
they're asking
filing a
he
motion
they're
to say that this is not a credible witness.
bro. He's
The
still bringing up that he still did somebody send that boy the PDF, bro. Send that thing to him. Do he have
look,
it?
I'm gonna tell y'all what the motion is and what they filing, what they're asking about in the motion. What the defense motion is filed by the attorneys Eugene Henley, co-defendants. They're fighting against what the government can limit them to ask the witnesses during examination. What Big U and his lawyers is alleging is that the government is trying to sanitize the witnesses by not letting them. So right now, Big U is making a motion so that he can reveal the criminal history of the witnesses, alleging that they have an incentive to snitch on him or say what they have because they have this criminal past, and he feels the jury needs to hear that. But at this point in time, the jury will not hear that unless the judge rules on that.
About their credibility.
But
The
Yeah.
lawyer trying to pull he trying to pull a
Hold
Henry
on.
Hill clause.
Go
but
ahead.
bro, that didn't we just say that they can't do nothing right now until the judge. We just that's the same shit. That's the
Yeah.
same
I
shit. We
think
just
I
that's
think
It's not
I think what's going on, bro, is we got people saying the same things in a different way. Everybody's trying to assert their point. The point of the matter is that Big U has been filing motions. He filed motion around DNA. He filed a motion. I don't know what the rulings have been on those on this last motion about the witnesses. We haven't heard any conclusion on that. Have you, Ed?
Basically, like you're saying, he wants to be when they testify, when his lawyer cross examined him, he let them know that these people have been also accused and convicted of said crimes or have criminal history. They not squeaky clean, and they have an exclusive incentive to tell on him, to basically, like you said, discredit him all the way around.
Yeah, no question.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Ed.
but they have to the judge have to rule on that, and I don't think they're gonna rule on that no time soon because the judge the other day the judge vacated the evidential hearings and all that type of stuff because they're not ready for trial.
Okay, so
Um,
that's
it's
gonna
gonna
be
come back up.
postponed till next year.
It's gonna it's postponed to February. It's gonna come back up. You know, all these motions gonna come back up. The reason I already know they was gonna postpone everything because Luce Cannon went to court by himself on Wednesday, and he went to court by himself on Wednesday because they gave him a new lawyer. So by them giving Luce Cannon a new lawyer, so that was a telltale sign that they was going to continue the case until next year. So when they went to court yesterday, that's exactly what they did. But when I looked at the pacer today, it's so much sealed up in there. It's unbelievable, bro. And
Let
it's
me ask
like,
you a question. Has Luce Cannon ever went to court with Big U?
yeah, he has. I was in
So
there when he
why
did
is he
that
going to court separately now?
because he went to court separately just for the hearing for his lawyer, just for his lawyer, just for him to get a new lawyer because his lawyer quit on
Because
him.
he didn't pay the lawyer, right?
He didn't pay him right, exactly.
So he didn't pay him. Okay, okay, okay.
So they appointed. I didn't see it. I gotta see it. I have the dude that they hired, a young dude. I sent it to you.
Okay.
Uh, and so you can get it and see it. But they have a lot of things that's going on in that case. It just don't sit right, man. And then when they came and got Luce Cannon last night and moved him to the seventh floor, I mean to the sixth floor, away from Big, because the Big U and Luce Cannon was on the same floor, not in the same unit, but on the same floor. You know, you have one side and you have the other side. So when he went to court, and all of a sudden, since he came back to court, they moved Luce Cannon um out the cell um in the middle of the night and just take him down to a floor lower to the sixth floor. And then I ain't never seen no shit like that. So when they go to court, so it's just like a telltale sign that something fishy is going on either way around. They don't want him and Big U on the same floor for some reason.
Damn. Do you think Big U was at the point where he willing to do anything he can to get out?
I don't think not yet. Like yet, I don't think he has no incentive right now. I think that once he get everything in front of him, and there's a thing that is called a reverse proffer, where the government shows you everything that they
Wow.
have on you.
You the second person I ever heard use that term, a reverse profit.
Yeah, they have
I
a
wish
reverse
my
proffer.
man was in here.
So they have a reverse proffer where they'll put everything in front of you, and that's what they do. What was that dude name that Denzel Washington played? What was that brother name? What in that movie? Frank Lucas.
Frank
That's what,
Lucas.
yeah, that's what they did to him. They gave him a reverse proffer. So Frank Lucas told on all type of things and all type of information, murders, um, who was who and what is what and things of that nature. So there's a certain thing that happened to him. Now, I truly believe that if he feel Big U feel that everybody he was like close to turned on him and dudes that in his section, man, that he brought around there and took care of and all that stuff, and he feel betrayed on the highest level. Oh hell yeah, I think he's gonna be at the brink where he'll say fuck all them dudes, man. And like I said, man, he's at that age, bro, where he don't have to go back over there. He don't have to do none of that shit, man. You know, cause love don't make. He's at the point where love don't make no sense.
It helps him though, right? I know he filed that motion for a speedy trial. I think I think it was Chuck the other day was making a point. That's probably for the appeal, but so let's say he gets his motion right to kind of discredit those two witnesses. Given how much circumstantial evidence is in this go, I feel like that helps him. And then B, like the point you just brought up, if he's really able to see all the discovery, and really have time to plan against that, like I don't know. To me,
Hey,
it
but
seems
this,
like it's
nah,
trying to.
it's not. See, we just see we looking on the out. See what we're doing is
Mm-mm.
all of us. We're looking at it. Just Dell. We're looking at Dell. We're looking at Marty Marr. We're looking at certain individuals, bro. Right? Just certain people that's inside the paperwork. Do you know how many people that's on that then came forward and made statements in that case, bro? That we don't know nothing about. We don't
Hey,
know
is
nothing.
Floss
We
was
don't.
Floss involved with the Vegas incident?
I don't know. I don't know what that. I don't know what the hell he got going on. We know he been approached for sure.
But what you
Yeah,
would
'cause
think
I seen the wiretap in there. Go ahead, bro.
if they were to approach Big U with a reverse proffer, like basically a show and tell, who would be the higher person that they would want him to cooperate on? Because technically, if that was what the operation draws down or draw down, he was technically almost the top of the totem pole. So who is it that he
Nah,
could give? Who else was higher than him?
bro, we're not. But this ain't no game shit. Once again, this ain't got nothing to do with no 6-0 shit, right? This case right here don't have nothing to do with nothing from the '60s, bro. This case got something to do with him, who he knew, who he been dealing with, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You have to understand that he was connected to a whole lot of people, bro. Senator, mayors, lawyers, doctors, police officers, and all that type of shit. So
So
he
you
was connected to.
they want him to
So he
flip
was
on somebody else higher than him that they think that they don't know about.
right, exactly that type of stuff. He ain't gonna. This ain't no 6-0 shit, bro. This got something to do with something that he had going on. You know, so and then we don't know what the hell he and you really don't want to talk about that 6-0 shit, man, because man, that dude know where everything at. He know all the bodies at and all that shit. So it's like it's like a wealth of information if he wanted to, bro. Man, just like Suge. If Suge want to go home, Suge can get out right now today. You know why? Because of that murder. It's the same shit. It's all about information, man. It's all about, the corruptness and the hierarchy and all that type of stuff. Now, let me ask you guys something. Did you guys remember when they came and got Big U? Was he at home? Y'all remember that? Was he at
Nah, he
home?
wasn't at
No, he wasn't
home.
home. He had to turn himself in.
Okay.
No, but you saying that to say what?
What I'm saying this to say what? He didn't have his phones either, right?
He did because he went online. And when he
Nah,
went,
bro. No, 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 bro. No, 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 no. No, no, no. He didn't have his phones, man, because the FBI had his phones pinging at his house before they went in there. My point is, somebody gave him a heads up to let him know that they was coming to get him, and he was gone, and his phones was still at home.
so who gave you the heads up?
Exactly. Come on now. I know. I know. I'm not stupid, but come on, man. Somebody gave him a heads up, bro.
Because he for sure wasn't home. He went live.
Now he wasn't home, man, and he didn't have his phones. It's even in the paperwork on his bail hearing that they say he tried to evade um
Capture.
from being captured, bro, because he left his phones at the house, et cetera, et cetera. So somebody gave him a heads up. And who else would know that the law enforcement is coming to get him?
Are you talking about the 600 and whack 100 content that?
No, bro. I'm talking about the paperwork on his bail hearing where they denied him. One of the reasons they denied him a bail because they said he was evading the police, right? And they saying that he had his phones, both of his phones was pinging at his house, still at his house. When they went in there, they gaffled
Yo,
his
are you talking
phone.
about the wife gang?
No, not the wife, bro. It's not the wife who gave him no heads up. It's somebody. It's a different entity gave him a heads up, bro.
You saying
A
You
another
think they're
government
looking into the city or at that level?
he's
a
saying
government
another
official.
police he's saying another police agency tipped him
Right,
off,
right.
tipped Big U
Right there,
off
you go.
that
But
somebody that the police was that the feds was coming.
right,
There
but like,
you
what's
go.
giving
Hey,
you that
y'all slow?
indication though? Because that's a high level,
Cause he wasn't home.
No, what
bro.
no.
Bro, just
Hold
who
on,
is this
slow up,
nigga,
y'all.
bro?
Hold up. Who is that doing
I'm
that
asking
hollering?
anyway a question, bro. Just stop. Hey, so, but why are you getting that indication though? Like something like that, that's levels above some big U shit, right? Like, what did you see in the paperwork to get an indication that somebody? And I get, is it the grid thing solely, or
No, no,
like where
no,
is this coming
bro.
from?
It's coming from when I read the bear and when I read the bail hearing paperwork. One of the reason why they denied him a bail is because they said he evaded arrest, and they explained why he evaded arrest and said that he was there. He had the government to believe that he was at home because both of his phones was pinging at his house, at his residence, but he wasn't there. Okay, they had a beat on him all day that day, and then they watched him go inside his house, and then he got up out of there. Somehow he got up out of there, and he was gone. Somebody gave him a heads up, bro, that they was coming.
How many people got grabbed before he got grabbed? So somebody could have gave him a head up, saying the guy's
I
getting
don't know.
grabbed
I just
too.
feel like that's a big assumption, bro. I got to look at that though, because I'm not
Yeah,
saying he's wrong, but
nah,
like I
just
got to
look
see
at
the
it. Go,
words that's put
go.
in the
Yeah, go look at it, bro. He wasn't home, bro. When they came and got him, he wasn't home. His car was there. They had his car. They had his car bugged. They had his car bugged. They had his phone bugged. They had all that shit bugged, and he wasn't there, bro. I'm gonna find it and I'm gonna send it to
Oh, you're right. He went live when he was like he about to turn himself in, and he was not home when they went there.
No, he wasn't there.
So somebody that he has connections with, that you feel that is higher than some type of state or local government, maybe city government, gave him the trip, and they want to know what's your nature of your relationship with that person.
All right, there you go. Somebody gave him a heads up, bro. See, this stuff is deeper than what everybody think, and the federal government, they're not even done yet, bro. They're not done. Do you know how many investigations probably came about them wiretaps? So many investigations probably came from that man. It's unbelievable.
So it's a possibility they could think, based on what you're saying, that the people inside the grid program on the city level has something nefarious going on.
I don't know about
year.
all
See,
that. I'm
like
just
that's gonna
saying.
be the
I'm just
headline,
saying.
and
Yeah,
y'all
because
just yeah.
who else would you got the federal government investigating you? So who else would you have contact with that you would be having this deep Rolodex where you would know and when the feds is moving? And the most obvious choice would be the people that you have contact with out in the open.
But assuming that inter and he knows a lot more detail about this than what I'm saying. I'm not saying that, but we just got to be careful before we make a leap like that. It's like
I'm not saying that I'm saying that somebody gave him a heads up, bro. I don't know what entity or whoever. Somebody gave him a heads up. He wasn't home. Everybody else was home. He
But it would have
wasn't
been
home.
hard. It would have been hard to give him a head up because if the feds watching him and his phone tap, then how was they able to communicate with him?
Come on, man. Y'all
all
ain't that
right.
slow,
I
man.
think
Come
this is
on,
the
man.
part you're alluding to.
Uh,
possibilities. We talking about possibilities
Is
now,
it is
right?
this his part? Let me just read it.
Possibilities.
It's like page 85. It says, throughout the course of the investigation, FBI special agent and task force officers, including myself, have witnessed Henley driving Henley's Mercedes. The FBI also obtained financial documents showing that Henley purchased a Mercedes. As discussed above, FBI special agents and victim one, I think that's Dale, also observed Robinson driving Henley's Mercedes during a period in where he was trying to attempt to evade law enforcement. I think that's
No, not
another
not
part.
that, not that. No, mm-mm. I'm talking about when he had his bail hearing. I'll find it.
That might be another document. Yeah, let me try to
It's
pull
in
that up
another
because I'm
document.
curious what you
Yes.
talking about, bro. That's crazy.
Go to the bail hearing. If you got the document
Yeah,
with the
for
bail
sure.
where they denied him bail, that's where you go to.
Because the fact that we're just hearing about this, obviously nobody else caught this. So I'm curious to see what's going on.
Oh, you didn't know he was at you didn't know he was at home? Wasn't at home?
Nah, just that detail. I want to see what the wording was to like what.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm not. I'm just trying to get an understanding because
Then
Okay.
again,
another thing I thought about, he said when he went live, he said that he doesn't do anything illegal and he has no other source of income and he uses the GRYD money to pay his bills. So I'm looking at it like if you flaunting that and you've been working with GRYD for so long, you doing nonprofit and you stating that I mean with nonprofit you have to show where every dollar going and you saying out loud that you using this private money, I mean this money that's for government programs and gang and addiction and drug violence and stopping it, but you using it to pay your personal bills. That could be that could be part of a federal investigation also.
No, because he get
wait, you seen a
paid. So
video where he said that?
You don't
yeah,
remember when
he
he got
said
on
that.
live?
But see the thing what he was saying, bro, you got to read between the lines. He was saying that the money he get, he pay his workers and he pay himself, and the money that he gets, he pay his bills with it for himself, for him getting paid. That's what he's saying. He not saying that he just take the money and just pay his bills. He's saying he worked for whatever the entity he's working for to pay his bills. That's what he was trying to
But
say.
if they yeah, that's what we think he's trying to say. If they could show that he was spending the money somewhere else, and they still was getting the money on the books and still not using the doing it the proper way and showing it's
They
the five
already
hundred one c.
they already did that already. You must don't have all the paperwork on.
No, I seen. I've been following this. I've been following this whole thing. Like
No,
so,
but it's a breakdown on where
the
how much
GRYD
money
money,
he was. Yeah, it's a breakdown in the paperwork. How much money he was getting, how much money was going in his account, how much money was coming out of his account, how much money he was taking out from developing option when it was getting donated and using it for his own personal use and all that type of stuff. It's all up in there. It's a whole breakdown of that. And he was getting some serious money too.
yeah, because it was going up every year.
No,
Per
bro. He
no,
was getting dope. He was getting dope. Say for instance like this. Say if I'm a basketball player and I donate 100 grand to your nonprofit organization, and then I wire the money to you, the next day you take 80 grand and put it in your own personal account. That's what he was doing.
wow, yeah,
That's the type.
that's something separate. I'm talking about the GRYD money that with the GRYD he was getting that money he was getting the contract was getting renewed and it was getting upped every year.
Yeah, it was
Or
it was
maybe I'm wrong.
it was getting up every year because what he was doing was, brother, he was proving that he was basically helping the community and stopping gang violence and all that type of stuff. That's why he was getting a raise every year because his program really was doing good over there. So now what the government has done is since he was doing all that illegal stuff, they tied all that up in there saying that what he did was he finessed the government and manipulated the system, the government, into believe that he was doing X, Y, and Z, but he was doing criminal stuff on the side.
Which is still, which is like you saying, he finessing the government. You taking the government money and still doing criminal shit.
Right? That's exactly what he was doing. That's what they allegedly said he did.
So pretty much, Big U ass is cooked. You believe?
Yeah, hey, bro, I ain't even gonna lie, man. Like I said, man, I bear witness to the truth, man. I didn't sit there and read this paperwork, man, so many times, bro. I've been trying to find a brother way out. I can't find it, bro.
You don't see a way out.
I don't see it, man. I don't see a way out for him, man. Because
That's
the reason why I don't see a way out for him is because he was taking that mark money.
damn.
Now the murder stuff, that's kind
You
of.
don't think that's too strong?
No, I don't think that's too strong, man. But now I don't know what I don't know what these other people are saying. Like, 'cause they got other witnesses, bro, that we don't know nothing about, bro. They haven't exposed all these other witnesses. See, that's dangerous,
Mm-hmm.
for him. So we just don't know. But by me just reading on the surface, dealing with the Hobbs Act, the robbery, that Luce
Right.
Cannon, and the extortion, and the money, and like the PPP loan and all that type of stuff, that ain't really too much of nothing. But just the robbery and the extortion, man, I don't see a way out on it. I don't see it, bro.
Man, that's crazy. Big U too old for this. Hey, but I have a feeling that he got a chance still, though. Hopefully, he saved some of that Chris Brown shoe donation or those Wiz Khalifa and T.I. donation money to get a good lawyer. What you guys think, though? Is Big U cooked, or do he got a chance? Leave your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like, hype, and subscribe. Let's get it.